Hey guys, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a new issue of Mortal Realms magazine. Before we jump into everything though, I just wanted to say thank you for watching, and if you'd like to carry on supporting the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below. It's always greatly appreciated. I'll try to get back to everybody as soon as I possibly can. Also, I wanted to say that there has been a lack of content over the weekend for everything. It is mainly because I've just basically run out of time for a lot of stuff. Trying to get a load of stuff done around the house before I go back to work, and I don't have the time to do it as much anymore. But there will be a couple of painting videos for the Aeronautica Imperialis models that I've recently bought. So if you want to watch that, you can check those out when they come out, which should be in the next couple of days. And I'll also get some more painting videos done as soon as I possibly can. But jumping into this week's magazine, of course, we've got 5 Dread Scythe Harridans, more Nighthaunt armies, units for us to have. Very different, very kind of cruel and cool looking. Definitely worth having a blast with them, because they've got these nice blades instead of hands, which look really cool. So definitely good fun. A note with these, you'll notice, if you're like me, you've got a hole in the bases as well as the slot. That hole is actually for Blood Bowl. So I don't know why we've been given bases that are more tied to Blood Bowl than Mortal Realms, but if you're not happy about that and that massive slot, when in all honesty none of the models fit into the slot, which is a bit weird, and you don't know how to fill it, or you don't want to fill it or anything like that, you can buy plain 32mm bases, because that's what these are, from eBay. You can get like 20 of them for a few quid, less than a fiver, and they'll get posted out to you. They won't be exactly the same, but you can get loads of them pretty damn cheap, and they come in handy for other little bits and pieces as you go as well. So nice new models to get painted with. I'm looking forward to doing them. I've kind of half settled on how I'm going to paint them, I think. Anyway, I might change my mind later on. Anyway, issue itself. So of course we're going on to see about the Dread Scythe Harridans, which of course is straight away. So the Dread Scythe Harridans are murderous spirits with razor sharp blades in place of hands. Dread Scythe Harridans cut through the living, shrieking with unnatural fury as they spill a crimson river of blood. These spirits are made all the more terrifying by the cruel nature of the curse that afflicts them. So, by vast majority of the Nighthaunt army, they are cursed. So they have a curse. The reason they exist is due to a curse from Nagash. Nagash being the Lord of the Dead, he has a very cruel way of treating the souls that he reaps and everything like that, and don't go to his ear. So what is the Harridan Curse? So the Harridan Curse may be one of Nagash's most cruel punishments. Perhaps the most disturbing thing about this curse is that the minds of its victims are completely intact and fully aware. Most spectres lose any memories of their former lives, but this is not so for the Dread Scythe Harridans. While they retain their old memories, they can no longer control their actions. So each is aware of and can see the atrocities they commit. Tragically, they can do nothing to stop themselves. They are forced to spend the rest of their existence tortured by their own actions. So, Nagash, in his cruel malice, has basically cursed the Harridans to exist and only be able to be fully aware of what they're doing. Unlike other Nighthaunt armies, so the Chain Rasp, for instance, they have no memory of their former lives. They have no awareness of exactly what they're doing. They are just literally cursed to kill and be utilised however Nagash and the Mortarks choose and stuff like that. Whereas the Harridans, they have no option. They have no will of their own. They are forced to commit these acts, but they are fully aware of what they're doing, which is probably one of the cruelest things Nagash could probably do. If you were forced to kill over and over again, and you've got a good nature, and you're one of these Harridans, and you know that you've got a good nature and you don't want to kill, but yet you'll be forced to, you'd be tortured, really. So yeah, so it kind of explains a bit about Nagash and about these guys, which is really cool. Gives you some more lore. If you're into lore as well, Stormcast Eternals Part 3. So this is more about the Hallowed Knights destroying the armies of Nurgle in Gyron. So 1,000 Storms. So these are really cool. They've got some really good stuff. So yeah, definitely worth it. Involves some of the story involving Torglug, the Despised, who was a Nurgle warlord, who became reforged as Tornus the Redeemed, a knight venerator of the Hallowed Knights. So more deep depth and lore for the magazine and everything like that, which is really cool. And it provides you with some backstories that you can kind of give your characters if you wanted to as well. So, and then information about Galmaraz, the weapon of choice by Sigmar himself, the so-called Warhammer, essentially. Really cool. Definitely good stuff. Then going into the battle, so of course battle between the Harridans and some Stormcast as well. So you got the Ebon Shields and Xenia Syphax, a leader of Circle of Healer Druids. Yeah, there you go. And she fell victim to the Harridan curse. So yeah, a bit of story about that. The image that we've used as well there has got one of the the endless spells that you can buy and get hold of, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's really good stuff. Quite an interesting look into a smaller battle as well. Building the Dreadscythe Harridans should be fairly quick and easy when you're following the step-by-step guide. Just remembering your glue safety and your clipper safety as per usual. So definitely cool. So yeah, so 5 Harridans, so all of them assemble slightly differently. It should be alright. Then you got your how to paint section, of course. So as per usual with Nighthaunts, Corax White, Nickel Oxide, Dry Brush Corax White. Then they've used Cantor Blue and Abaddon Black, and it gets that look. Personally, while the Nickel Oxide and Corax White looks like a pretty decent idea, I'm not sure about that Cantor Blue personally. It looks a bit odd and it looks a bit off, and I'm not sure that I particularly like that, so I definitely probably won't be doing it. Then you got onto your battle plan and everything like that, so which seems a bit thicker than normal. So what are they using? So we've got Dreadscythe Menace, so get ready for battle, so using Chain Rasps and the Harridans, going up against Sequitors, 3 Sequitors and 3 Castigators, and using some of the terrain pieces as well from Sigmarite Mausoleum that we've got. So pretty cool, it's not bad. So it kind of plays through quite nicely. So the Harridans, they can fly, they're ethereal. Slasher Crone, which is the 4-limbed one, add 1 to the attacks characteristics of the Slasher Crone scythed limbs, which is pretty cool. So yeah, a bit different. And of course they've got Murderous Bloodlust as well, which is pretty cool. Pretty different rulings for them and everything like that. As you go through, of course, Castigators can shoot, firing them Stardrake bolts and everything like that. Got the Dread Warden out there, Sequitur Prime, Castigator Prime, everyone like that. And you can also add in other models for command, so Varclav for Cruel and Deathbeat Drummer as well if you wanted to. And before we go on to stuff that's coming next week, there's a pull-out bit. So the Forces of Order. So the Forces of Order are, of course, the Stormcast Eternals and the Ideneth Deepkin, the Caradon Overlords, when I can learn to speak, and the Daughters of Cain and the Seraphon. It also is going to include the new elves that are coming out, the Luminous Realm Lords, as and when they actually arrive from GW, and the city is a Sigmar as well. So, and then you've got the Sylvaneth and the Fire Slayers included in all of that as well. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. So yeah, it gives you a bit more kind of options of how you can go through with alliances and everything like that. So yeah, it also includes a nice image of Morathi. Morathi is a really cool model. I do really like the look of Morathi, because you got, if you buy Morathi as a model, not only do you get her on there, but you also get her as the snake version, which I'll include an image of. For the Sylvaneth, Alariel, the Everqueen, is a really cool model on that cool beetle as well, which is really good. And if you want to go Fire Slayers, you can have them on Magmadroth and stuff like that, which is pretty cool stuff. So really good models. For Deepkin, you can get these really cool shark looking things as well, which are really cool. I must admit I do want them, but I've never had them. And yeah, you get things like the Star Drake. Seraphon though, Seraphon have got some really nice models. They don't make enough Seraphon models though, in all honesty. There's not enough available. I've had a few. I really like painting them. They're really good stuff, but they've kind of not been focused on. And there's that bigger Morathi model that I was on about as well. Just fair for you. So, cool stuff. Right, next week though. So, well, next issue. So, not this next week, but the week after. We'll get 2 paints. So, Lead Belcher and Dryad Bark. And another large battle mat. Not bad. Yeah, it'll be alright. Issue 19 though, we get Spirit Torment, Knight of Shrouds, and Guardian of Souls. So 3 new models for the Nighthaunt leaders. They're really cool as well, especially the Knight of Shrouds is a really cool model to have with that winged helm and that sword. So yeah, definitely good stuff. And I suppose I should show you the built up Dreadscythe Harridans. And that's it. These guys are built up, they are ready to be based, they are ready to be painted. I'm going to paint them off the base, in all honesty, because it will be a nightmare to try and get into deeper recesses when they're like that on the base, and a bit more difficult. I want to be able to get into everything, every nook and cranny essentially. And that's it, yeah, so good stuff. Nice models to build as well. You'll be left some extra pieces on the sprue as well. I'm not too sure why, because I don't have a full instruction manual, only the instructions that are inside the magazine. So I'm guessing when you buy a box of these, there are multiple options for extra bits and pieces. So I'm guessing that's the reason. Maybe. Yeah, having said that, thank you very much for watching. As per usual though, if you like the videos, please hit the like buttons, subscribe, drop a comment down below. It's always greatly appreciated. If you do comment, I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. You can find me on the usual social media links as well if you wish to. And that's it pretty much. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye now.